She just stays at home, joins the class from home, and then the lectures is done, everything is done. During the assessment period, you have opportunity to receipt. Maybe you were not in the right state at the point, you prepare properly, and then you receipt for the exam. They even have special exams for the cases of like people who are nursing mothers. They make the system so supportive that regardless of your status, regardless of your situation, like something is being provided to make it easy for you to exam.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining today. Based on one of the requests I got some time ago, some of you want to know what the educational system is like in Portugal. And I have here with me a very special guest, and he came actually to Portugal with his family through the study route, and he will be helping to answer a lot of these questions. So, can we meet you?
All right, my name is Joseph, and I moved to Portugal late 2024 with my family. Although my wife is the student, but I was responsible for the entire process from start to finish. So I'm pretty familiar with everything, and I've been actively involved even through the journey till this time.
Happy to hear that. So that means you're the best person to answer all our questions.
Yeah.
Please, if you have any further questions after this, you can always drop them in the comments and we'll see if we'll do a second round. Okay. But I will just ask some of the questions that people have been asking, and we will try to tackle this in this video. So first of all, what is the Portugal educational system like? What does it look like from your own perspective?
Well, I would say it's more or less like every education system globally. It's nothing different, just that structures and system might be a little bit different from each other, but it's almost the same thing that we know over the world. Okay. So, but for Portugal, like we have the primary, secondary, we have the university, and in the university level, you have different degree levels. So maybe you are doing an undergraduate, a master's study, or a doctoral program. So in my own case, we came for the master's program, and my wife came for the master's program. And I think most of the time that happens to fall within the bracket of the people that are more interested in the migration process, especially for Portugal. So it kind of addresses it. So they run that master's, undergraduate, and then the PhD.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I think most of the people who are asking are looking for postgraduate studies, or maybe even BSc, but BSc, MSc, PhD, and the rest of them. Maybe not primary and this.
Yeah, of course.
But based on that, and what is the process like? Because you said you were involved in the entire process for your wife's movement and yourself. So what is the process like for someone who wants to start from, like, let me give an example with a Nigerian who is looking to move to Portugal through the study route. What is the process like?
Well, also I would say that for most countries, especially using Nigeria as a context, you basically just need the primary thing of legalization. I mean, because you need to understand that Portugal does not in a way entirely just recognize the document issued in Nigeria. The request for there's this called, they call apostille. So it's popular within some European countries. So if you graduate from a university that has that apostille, you wouldn't need to go through the legalization process. But for countries in Africa, most of the time you do not have that. So you have to go through the legalization process. And when I say legalization, what does it mean? It means you take your document to the authority or the highest issuing authority in your country to certify that this document is original. So like maybe you're coming for a postgraduate program, so you take your transcript, your university certificate to the Ministry of Education. Ministry of Education says, oh, this is authentic, it is issued by a reputable and a recognized institution in Nigeria. Then you take that to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which is the body that interacts with international bodies and international other countries basically. So they then validate that yes, for any country that wants to look into this document, we certify that it was issued by a reputable institution in Nigeria. So having done that, that's like what they call authentication. Then you go for legalization. So you now take it to the embassy of Portugal in your own country, and using the context we are talking about Nigeria, so you take it to the Embassy of Portugal in Nigeria, and then they look at it, given the information that the Ministry of Education has said, and then Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they do a little bit of verification, then they also validated that, okay, this is legalized to be accepted in Portugal by any institution as a valid educational document. So basically, that's just what is required. So once you have that, every other thing is easy. Your international passport, your CV, statement of purpose showing your interest and the like. So basically, that's the basic requirement that anybody interested in education really needs to meet.
Okay, that's good to know. So what is like this legalization thing? So do they put stamps on your certificates as it's going from?
They used to.
Okay.
But now the process is changing. So before now, they would put the stamp on your original certificate, not at the front, but behind it.
Okay.
Like any certificate you are legalizing, they stamp it. But now they are now using photocopies. Okay. So they now accept photocopies. Even the Ministry of Education would not, they would do it on the photocopy, and then you will go with the photocopy to the embassy as well. So it's now going to be photocopies that they are doing, at least from Nigeria in this context. Yeah.
So is it like you apply to the schools first before you start going through this process, or is it better to just have everything already done before you start applying to schools? Like if someone wants to start, where is like the starting point? Yeah.
I think the starting point is having what you really need the most, the international passport.
Okay.
Because for you to initiate any application, you really need that. So that makes you recognized as an international candidate or international student. So you need an international passport. So if you haven't gotten one, I would say that's the first point of call. But besides that, it differs, depends on the institution. So we've talked about that, what the educational system looks like. But then we need to clarify that there are institutions that wouldn't accept any application from any student if you have not done the legalization of your document. So if you submit a document that is not yet legalized by the Embassy of Portugal in Nigeria, for instance, they wouldn't even consider your application. So they've stated it that your application must be with legalized documents. But there are institutions that say, oh, come on, no problem. We are very liberal. You can apply. But when you get the admission, ensure you legalize the document before your arrival in Portugal. So by the time you arrive and you need to do your registration, you now present the legalized copy of the version you used for application.
Okay.
So you could, so depending on the institution, and I will just quickly ship it in because perhaps you might want to ask, because the schools or the institutions that give leverage to, you can apply without legalization. Their price can be a little bit higher because they kind of appear to be more, should I say, more international, more open. So because they're more open, they're more receptive to more international students, and that increases their kind of standard, and which is why they can say, you can apply. But there are schools that are very strict on that and say, no, you must legalize your document before you apply. So, but talk of quality, I would say that the educational system, like all universities, will still give you the quality, but ranking at the end of the day still differs, right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
So in terms of what you said, a little bit about some universities costing more than others, can we talk a little bit about the costs? Because like for a Nigerian, for instance, who is trying to do this, do you have like an estimate of the cost for maybe legalization, the school itself, tuition, and what should we be looking at?
A lot of things are changing. So I might not be able to give factual data as regards costs for legalization process. Because,
but like an estimate.
We can give an estimate that, okay, it depends. Because I'm familiar with the process. I did it about 2 years ago, but then I've had to work with a little bit of some people recently that had to go through the same process. So let's say give or take, budget-wise, anything from 400 to 500K for your legalization process. I mean, for the entire legalization process, at least you should have that in budget. Then for the institution, depending, they have polytechnics, and then they have universities. And then universities also differs, from based on ranking and the like. So most of the time, give or take, tuition fee can be from anything around 1,250 to 13,000 per annum.
Per annum?
Yeah.
This is euros.
Yes, in euros. Yeah, 1,250 euros to 13,000 euros. However, I would need to say that there are institutions, or most of the institutions, give leverage to allow instrumental payment.
Okay.
So you don't have to make all the payments, like they don't even mandate you, not all the universities mandate you to make any deposit before you arrive out. You can arrive before making your initial payment. So this cost now, for those that allow installments, some of them can allow up to 10 installments. There are 10 months within an academic year, so they divide it by 10. So let's say you are paying 1,250 euros per annum in your institution, divided by 10. That means you'll be paying 125 per month, to your institution, which makes it pretty easy for students to,
And still going on that, is it possible for someone to be working while studying? It's possible to work?
Yeah, I mean, Portugal is that liberal. You have, I would say, like unlimited hours of work. There's no restriction on your hours of work, but it shouldn't affect your academics, because that's the basic or the primary thing that brought you into the country. At the point where it affects your studies and you are advised to withdraw, you might not be able to, let's say you want to renew your status and the likes, because you would need to show proof that, you are either still in school or you've graduated. So you are allowed to work basically, but you just don't want it to affect your primary purpose of coming here.
Yeah, so speaking on the visa now for those who are coming.
Okay.
What kind of visa are we looking at, and how long does it last? And is this something that the student needs to renew over time, or can he get residence card after coming in academic?
So now, depends on the program. Most master's program or postgraduate program in Portugal would range anything from a year plus. Over a year, maybe depending. Some maybe 18 months and the likes. So once it's beyond a year, you have to apply for a national visa. So I think it's I'm trying to remember, is it DF now, but there's a student visa. You apply for the student visa. It will come with a 3-month visa back, but because it's a residency visa, you would arrive in Portugal and trade that visa for a residence permit. So with that permit, the permit will be issued to you. It will allow you, for the period of study, it will serve for that period. But perhaps you did not finish your program within that period, you can renew your permit. And then if afterwards, I know maybe we will get there. If afterwards, you need to stay back.
Okay, let's talk about how the classes are structured.
Okay.
So, is it still the same way with the Nigerian system, or?
I would say that if you're coming from the Nigerian system, you've been toughened, like you've been enabled, right? So because the system here is pretty flexible, and then they are pretty, should I say, supportive to see people succeed. So, for instance, there are institutions and courses that would say it's just evening classes. So there are structures that allow just evening classes. So they allow students to work. I mean, it gives you time. You can work in the day, and in the evening you go for your classes, right? But then there are those that they give you remote. So you can be in your house and attend all your classes online, even though you're in Portugal, right? But you are joining your class remotely. You can join online. My wife, for instance, had to do that because we had a baby when we were arriving, and then before the baby was integrated into the crèche, so she needed some time. So what is cool, in fact, it was the faculty program coordinator that advised that it would be best for you to take advantage of the remote classes. So she just stays at home, joins the class from home, and then the lectures is done, everything is done. And it's even very nice that
that's nice.
During the assessment period, you have opportunity to resit. So
like if you write an exam and the score is not good enough, you can rewrite it.
You can rewrite, I think, about 2 times. So let's imagine that you wrote your exam and then you failed, or your score wasn't good enough. You have a resit period. I mean, within the semester, not like it's a carryover. You are not carrying over yet. So you can quickly take some time out. Maybe you were not in the right state at the point, you prepare properly, and then you resit for the exam. They even have special exams for the cases of people who are nursing mothers. You have a medical situation or something that might not have given you enough quality time to study and all of those things. They make the system so supportive that regardless of your status, regardless of your situation, like something is being provided to make it easy for you to excel. Really, yeah.
And that's really nice. If only Nigerian system could be this good.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you.
But hopefully
Hopefully, we'll get there. We'll get there. I believe.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to ask is the language, because I know people would have difficulty speaking Portuguese coming from Nigeria where we speak English
English,
predominantly. So, how are the classes structured? Are they in Portuguese, or do you have flexibility to choose what language you want, or there are some courses that are offered in English, some in Portuguese, or how does it work?
I think it's a thing, or it's a call to attention for those who are applying, because you need to also pay attention to this. They would state it clearly, the language of instruction for the particular program you are applying to. There are institutions that run different programs in English, but there might be a particular course that is of interest for you that is in Portuguese. So you need to first pay attention to it. It's not just, you don't want to pay attention to the fact that does this institution offer or deliver lectures in English. They can deliver in English, but are they delivering in English for that particular program that you're interested in? So that's one thing they should pay attention to. But once that is clarified, they provide classes in English. Like there are lots of courses in English that have been, some English and Portuguese. So you choose. You know, like my wife had to make choices. It's the same course, one in Portuguese, the same course, another one in English. Well, I mean, why opt for the Portuguese class when I have English option? Of course, I'll go for the English class, right? There are some there are courses that are strictly in English, regardless. So I think because of the programs, maybe many Erasmus students take those kind of courses and they like, so they just, it's purely in English. So even Portuguese, a lot of Portuguese, like the system, they speak English. You know, there are lots of people who speak English in the country too. So,
okay, that's really good to know. So, what is the outcome? What is life like after school? Is it easy to get jobs, or is it just going to be another academic qualification you get, and then now you face the struggle for jobs? So, how easy is it to get jobs after one is done studying?
Well, the truth is, I would say, be skillful. In Nigeria, we would say, there are no jobs, but there are people who are changing jobs. The same applies globally. So, are there jobs? I would say there are jobs. Are they available for everybody? Maybe not for everybody. You know, we just need to, or everyone needs to position, you have to position yourself for the opportunity you are looking forward to earning. Say you are on campus studying, for instance, for an example, you're studying marketing. And then, but then you know that, data is becoming, you know, a big deal. Programming, you know, software, AI, all of these things. And while on campus, there are lots of extra courses that these people offer. Like just, you can take it, many of which are free. So if you begin to position yourself for those kind of things, once you finish your program and you earn the skill, it's more about your skill, not necessarily about your certification. Although there are roles that your certificate will open for you, like we open the door for you, but your skill is what would give you the edge when you come at competitive power with other people. So once you have the skill, you can get it, and the system is so easy. Once you have a job, you can easily transition. They are not saying get a job that is 1 million or earning this amount. They only just get a job that pays you the minimum wage. Once you get a job that pays you the minimum wage, you can continue to stay in the country. So, which is nice.
Okay. Just a few random other questions, if you don't mind. What was your biggest culture shock when you arrived in Portugal as a student?
As a student,
or at least for your wife, if you...
I think the first shock, would I even say, it was a shock, really, because on arrival, when you see the next black person, you feel like, thank God, you know, then it would be, you know, and then you want to speak English and you're like, hello, please. And the person was like, and you're wondering, come on. If you're not Nigerian, you should be either Ghanaian or something. I mean, so I was shocked to see that many of the black people that we first came in contact with were speaking Portuguese. And I was like, okay. Like, so you felt like it's not everybody you see at first sight, particularly if the person was black, that was, you know, going to understand English. So it was a shock for me. So black doesn't speak English. Really? You know.
Okay.
That was like the first one. Maybe not the biggest, but it was really like, okay.
Yeah, that's actually true for me as well. And I experienced that when I came thinking I was going to be able to easily speak English to the blacks also.
Exactly.
Only to know they were from Portuguese speaking countries.
Yeah.
Okay, lastly, for anyone who is planning to move over to Portugal, do you have any final tips or advice you would just give to such people? Maybe
Well,
beyond what we have discussed.
Well, the truth is, I would say things are changing, and as it has to do with the matters of immigration, the best time to make the decision was yesterday. Because today you don't know what law or what will change, and tomorrow is not even guaranteed.
Yeah.
So the earlier, the better, right? Make that decision as soon as you can. Laws, policies are changing, borders are being tightened, so go get that international passport, make that decision. Sometimes you just need to step out in faith. You will always have fears. Nothing is guaranteed. Even in Nigeria, it's not like you have everything guaranteed. You still need to step out. So if you are considering this as an option, I think it's high time to just step out, put the necessary steps in place, and with God on your side, you can. I mean, I can't underemphasize that. God would work things out if he is in it. Yeah. Amen. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Joseph.
Thank you so much, Dr. V,
on this channel. So, everyone, you heard him already, and if you really want to do this, the best time to take this step, like he said, was yesterday. So you still have the chance now. You should do it now. If you have any further questions, you can leave them in the comments, and if we need to do a part 2, I'm sure he'll be generous enough to stick on the channel.
Of course, we will trust generous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity as well.
And thank you everyone for listening.
All right.
To the next one. Ciao, ciao.